And we are live on Unfiltered. We're also live on the Skippy TV YouTube channel, so you can go and have a look at us on there. But if you're probably watching us on Facebook Live, there's no need to do that because you're already watching us. I am joined, as always, by the big fella, William Mason.
How are we?
We're all well.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, it's a big show we've got today. It's rolled into State of Origin time, and that's pretty much the only game in town. So tonight we will be going through our teams. We'll be picking our sides. We'll be going through the blokes that are probably a bit unlucky to miss out. We'll be going through whether or not this round is going to actually have any effect or whether the teams are picked.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at any form lines that might help you to pick your own side before it's announced. Now, you have been out today doing some coaching, William, with the under-16s.
Yeah, well, got a call and an email from Danny Badiris, who's obviously the assistant coach to the Blues, and Freddie Fittler. And they just wanted to get some players that have recently played, in the last sort of 10 or 15 years and been successful at that origin level, trying to get these under-16s and under-18s ready for that next level, which is going to be obviously NRL and then their stepping stone. But going out there and just helping Marco Mealy and Bedsy and a few of the guys, it was good, because I've been sort of, procrastinating whether I should go into that realm, with whether I'd enjoy it or not. And I sort of tested myself today because I actually wasn't going to do it because I wasn't that interested in rugby league all that much. But being 16 to 18 year old, I remember being that age, and I would have loved, some players like of my calibre, Danny Badiris, Marco Mealy, Luke Lewis, Bo Scott, to come out and teach us all these different little nuances and skills and everything like that, which was that we never got taught. So, and just the whole, the mentality of playing Origin and what it's all about. So we really we separated the middles from the backs and all this kind of stuff. So we just genuinely had the middle players, So,
and you would have bonded with the under-16s as well, because
I don't think I've really grown up from the 16.
Past the 16-year-old.
But I just think I do connect with that, the 16, 18-year-olds, because they're just like a sponge. They listen, I don't think yet I could be with an NRL side or anything further than that, because I don't really want to be associated with it all. I just think at 16 and 18, they're just like sponges, and you listen to them and they're just so, their eyes just light up. You tell them a couple of little things and they listen. They're just big men as well. Some of them were looking down on me. And they're about 6'6". They're well built. And you just got to teach them a few little skills, few little things on and off the field. And hopefully, in the next couple of years, you can see them be NRL players and hopefully be Origin players in the future. So it was a good day. I actually really enjoyed it. So I might just take the Origin spot off Freddie and just go straight to the fucking number one.
Or straight to Wayne Bennett. Wayne, if you're watching, your biggest fan, probably looking for a job as coach now. I think probably what we might do is just read out our Origin sides, just to get it out of the way. I'll go first because my side's probably better than yours. I'm going to start. The forward pack, I reckon, picks itself. You've got Paul Vaughan, you've got Cook, you've got Clemmer, you've got Frizzell, Cordner, who'll be captain, and Trebojevic at the back.
Yep.
My controversial choice is Mitchell Pearce as halfback. I think if you're fair dinkum picking on form, then Pearce has been the standout player in that position. I feel a bit sorry for Nathan Cleary, but we'll go into that. Luke Keary picks himself at 5'8".
Yep.
Latrell Mitchell, again, picks himself. I would have Kotrick in the centres, depending on how he goes this weekend, and we'll talk about whether or not the form lines from this week have anything to do with it. Ferguson, I think, has played himself back in on one wing and Addo-Carr on the other. Tedesco at fullback. Yeah. That's my starting side. We'll go to the bench afterwards, actually. Yeah. Who is your starting side?
My starting side, I've got Teddy at fullback, which I think he's just probably arguably the best player in the comp at the moment. I've got the Fox on the wing, I've got Latrell, and I'm going with Jesse Ramian over Kotrick. I've been looking at Kotrick. I think he's right on the edge. We'll go through that later. But I'm going to go with Ramian because he's been playing right side centre, and he's just looks like he's built for Origin. He's big, he's aggressive, he breaks tackles, and he probably will get more ball in Origin.
He's got no ball this year.
Well, he hasn't. In the last couple of weeks, he's got a couple of early balls from Pearce, and they're starting to get that combination going. It's always going to take a bit of time, but so I've got Fergie on the other wing. I've got Keary, and I'm tossing up between Pearce and Reynolds because I'm really, obviously we're going to go and talk about Pearce later as well. Pearce and Reynolds, I think Reynolds might be on the cusp as well. He's been playing some great football. I've got Clem Cook. I'm going to start Jake Trebojevic at 10. My back row is...
moving him up to prop.
Well, he's a lot. Your modern
plays
day
in the middle
lock
anyway.
is in the middle, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter if you're front row or lock. And I think with his toughness and his ball playing, then you can have Boydie in the other back row, Frizzell and Cam Murray. I think Cam Murray has got that ball playing skill, can play 80 minutes just like Jake. So I think all these guys like Clemmer and that, they're all averaging about 70 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So that's a fit, mobile pack.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's all about balance in Origin. And that's what I think. I would throw Jakey Trbojevic in the front row because it doesn't really matter because he plays in the middle. So it doesn't really matter what number he's wearing, and that's why I'm going to go to my bench. I'm going to pick Victor Radley, Paul Vaughan, Payne Haas, and Tarek Sims.
Yeah, it's a good bench.
I just think it's all about balance. Victor Radley can come on and give Cookie a bit of a rest, and that bench, I mean, Payne Haas has been an animal. The last 4 or 5 games.
Cook will play 80.
But I want an 80 minutes that's explosive.
Yeah.
I want to give him a little bit of a rest because Origin's a different beast, and he doesn't play slow. He doesn't play like Cameron Smith. He is balls to the wall. He's flat out everything that he does. So his defence has picked up a lot. He runs a lot more, and all the boys are going to be pushing up flat and fast. And I think he probably needs about at least 20 minutes rest because Origin's a different beast. He's been playing at such a great level, and I think Cameron Murray can probably push into 9. I think Victor Radley can come in at lock.
Yeah.
And really sting that line in defence, you know. So there's so many options with Victor Radley. You can play him anywhere in the forwards, and you can play him at 9, and you can push Cameron Murray out. You just got to have a few options. I think if an injury goes down, you know, I think they can cover all spots. So.
I actually feel a bit sorry for Victor Radley. Like, he's an ultimate team player, but having him play 80 minutes at 9
it's ruining
for
him.
the Roosters, I mean, it's a tough gig.
Have a look what's happened to Jake Friend.
Yeah.
He's played 10 years non-stop, 80 minutes a game, over 1,000 tackles a year for 10 years, and you think, you know, oh, geez, he's done really well. He's won 2 premierships and that. How's his body now?
Yeah, it's not the best.
He's not. I don't think I could give him another 3 years.
And I feel sorry.
And I feel sorry because he
He
should be playing Origin this year. I feel so sorry for him. He's played a couple of tests. He's been waiting in the wings, him and McCulloch, for 10 years, waiting for Cameron Smith to retire. Now both of them are injured.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, unlucky because I'm a New South Wales man, but Cameron Smith single-handedly destroyed us for the last 10 years, and these blokes have been sitting in the wings.
Do you know what I worked out? We actually haven't even picked a Queensland side. We've just sat here.
I've actually picked a Queensland side.
You've picked a Queensland side? You kept that under your hat? I haven't. My bench, I've gone for Victor Radley, Haas, Dale Finucane. And Tarek Sims. I reckon Finucane.
Do you think Finucane can make because I think when you pick a bench, you've got to think, can they make an impact off the bench? Or does Finucane have to play 80 to make an impact? Because I don't think he can play 40 minutes and make an impact. I
reckon Clemmer makes a difference, and I reckon you could almost start Finucane in the middle and use Clemmer as an impact player.
Well, I think obviously with our team, they're gonna flick it around.
Yeah.
They're gonna have your starting lineup, and then they'll tinker with it, and they'll see how whatever Queensland come up with. And then they'll go with, they might start Payne Haas and go nuts for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, they can just come out. But
Do you reckon
Queensland, I think they'll pick him. They have
Inside
to.
male?
Well, I was with the coaching staff today.
That's what
and
I'm
I think
saying.
I'm pretty much part of the team.
Oh, goodness me.
No, I just think I've been talking to Bedsy, and Bedsy's not on the selecting committee, but
Yeah.
you know, we're just saying, mate, what about Payne Haas? This is a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like the talk was Pangai Jr.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So Pangai Jr. came out today, and I don't know whether it happened today, but he's notified Freddie Fittler. He's made a phone call to Freddie Fittler saying, I'm pledging my allegiance to Tonga, right? He said he's doing it long term.
Yeah.
I also would like to let Freddie Fittler know that I'm not available for selection this year either.
Thank God.
Because I'm not going to get picked either. Now, he's no chance of getting picked. So was that
I think
him getting in front of that? Or was that genuinely you think he's
that's
heart's in Tonga?
That's the talk. I mean, that's what the whispers were out there today. It's just like, did he get the tap on the shoulder going, you're not going to get picked this year? And if so, if he's made that decision because he got tapped and he wasn't picked in the first game, that sucks.
It means a bit less.
It means, but if it means that he's fully committed to Tonga, I'm all for that because I think his name and the Tongan and how the Tongan rugby grows, I think he needs to go with it. But in saying that, like I think he's one of our bright lights coming up, and he's going to be one of the superstars. If he is consistent on the field, he could do anything. He would be.
One of the journos wrote an interesting thing to say today, saying, you know, he thinks he's going to, I can't remember what it was, but thinking he's going to regret that decision because Origin's the pinnacle.
Well, this is where I can put it, and everyone's like, you know, it was great for Fifita and Taumalolo. Fair enough. Fifita's won an Origin series. He's played 10 Origins. Taumalolo's played for New Zealand. He's done everything he could for New Zealand, and then they've pledged their allegiance to Tonga. Fafita's won a grand final. Taumalolo's won a grand final. They've been at the peak. So it's all right for them 28, 29 to say, all right, I'm going to pledge my allegiance to Tonga, which is great. But they've already got a taste of origin. Yeah. I mean, Fafita and Jennings and Tupou, they've had a taste of origin. So they've got those origin jerseys in the cupboard. Tevita Pangai Jr. hasn't. And I know that he can. If he strings 5 or 6 games together over this origin period and he's pushing for a spot, and even I think now he's right on the cusp of getting picked because I think he can show up.
Yeah.
I just think I don't want him selling himself short because his feelings got hurt because he didn't get picked in game 1.
While they're a tier 2 nation,
I don't think. Anyway. And what happens next year? I'm not sure with the rules. But
no, because it's tier 2.
Can he go?
100% he can cope.
Next year he can go. I want to play for New South Wales.
Whilst Tonga remain a tier 2 nation,
are they tier 2 still?
Yeah, they still are. Why they are, I don't know. I mean, there's only but for now, whatever reason.
But you understand
they're going to be a tier 1 side.
But you understand where I'm coming from. Where when Fafita, Jenko, Tupou, and all them Manu Ma'u, they've all played at an international level and all played Origin. Now it's time for them to give back to the homeland in Tonga, and same as some of the Samoan dudes, So I understand them guys coming back and giving all their heart to Tonga, but I want Pangai Jr. to experience Origin, to play at the hardest and the toughest level, and test yourself there, because I think he could be one of the great forwards of the modern era. He's got everything. He just needs to tinker with a few things consistent wise, and probably beat it. If he's going to be at the Roosters next year, or be at the Broncos, or go to NFL, or whatever he does.
South.
If he goes to NFL, he never plays Origin again.
Look, to be honest, contracts in this modern era mean very little, and so the fact
hope
in 12 months' time that could change.
I just hope to God he hasn't said I'm just pledging my allegiance to Tonga because he didn't get picked.
Yeah,
because that's not a good sign of your character. Because
to be fair, he did say that he thinks Payne Haas and Matt Lodge are playing better than him, and I respect what he's done.
Yeah, well, they've been more consistent than him. As a player, I look at him and just go, that's just raw talent right there. Power, strength, fitness, skill level, and the difference between him and Taumalolo is Taumalolo does it week in, week out.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And I hope he's made the right decision. I think I'm all for it if he pledges his allegiance to Tonga, because I love Tonga and I think their game can grow only because of decisions like this. So all power to Tonga and all power to Tevita, but I hope he just make the right decision for the right reasons.
They're a dead set Tier 1 nation within 12 months anyway.
My God.
So if he makes
they're a top
decision,
3 nation.
You want to be pretty sure of it.
Yeah.
The other big, form that has been discussed at length by everyone in the world, and that's what happens when New South Wales State of Origin sides are being talked, is the form of Nathan Cleary. Now, the Panthers stink. There's no question that the Panthers stink. I don't think Cleary's going as badly as people are saying. If you watch the games, he's playing in a side that's awful. Now, is he being penalised? If Penrith winning, Cleary's one of the first blokes picked. Is he now at a point where if he gets brushed this series, he goes on the list of Adam Reynolds has played one series. Is he on the scrap heap?
No, because he's 21.
Because
he's 21. It might affect his confidence a little bit, but I think he got rushed into it last year and he was a bit of a passenger, to be honest, in all 3 games. He got through the games.
He did
his job. He wasn't outstanding, but I'm not going to bag him. I think he's going to be the future of New South Wales. But if he sits out a year, it'll humble him. And I think it might be the best thing for him. And it's just not helping, coinciding with Penrith going absolutely disgraceful. And the coaching saga out there, Gus leaving, it's just been an absolute zoo out there. So I think he's just the product of the environment that he's out there with, and they're going shit and they're going to blame Cleary. That's it.
Bag's not
and
being
it sucks.
Nathan Cleary's
and
mum.
It sucks. And I mean, like, Cleary, he's the future of New South Wales. But if this year he has to sit out for Pearce, because I honestly think that Pearce deserves a decent chance. Give him a New South Wales side that's winning.
Yeah.
He's never been in a winning side. And I just feel so sorry for him. Like, I think he's been traumatised by the fact that he had to go up against GI, JT, Lockie, Cronk, Slater.
He's
these guys, all these guys are gone.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to feed the ball and look at GI and all these guys anymore. They're a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
And I think Pearce deserves to just give him one more crack at Origin. He's played 18 Origins. and he's probably won 4, not even that. So just give him a decent side, give him one more crack. I think
won more than 4. I think that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
4 games.
More than 4?
4 games.
4 out of 18.
I'm pretty sure.
Has he?
He was on the. We don't fact check here, but I think it's around about that.
We just make stuff up as
But
we go.
I just think that he deserves another go.
Yeah.
And I think in the last couple of years, if he didn't get injured last year and they weren't really, Cleary wasn't, the flavour of the month and all that kind of stuff, and Maloney, he just sort of got left out of it. But like he's banging the door down.
Yeah.
I just think he deserves one more chance.
And he's at the peak of he's what,
He's
20,
29, 30 years old. He's got his shit together off the
Yeah.
field. He's a great bloke, great human. He's been there before. He's been at the end of like the greatest team, arguably the greatest team, rugby league team of all time.
Yeah.
And you try and I'm sick of everybody blaming Piercy for everything. He's going to get remembered if he doesn't come out in the next couple of years and win a couple of series. You know what? How we rate players is how we played Origin.
Yeah.
And because he hasn't got 3 man of the matches or anything like that, and he's played 18 games, it's like, no, he couldn't play. He's been arguably one of the best players for the last 10 or 12 years. Like, he's been at top of his game. You give him a green and gold jersey, he could do the job easily.
For sure.
But because he was in that side, he was never going to get that green and gold jersey. He kept giving it, but you can't tell me he's not better than Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
Ben Hunt's played 4 tests.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fact check. I'm thinking he's played 4, but they're up against France and all that sort of shit, so they don't really count. But
Hello, France.
yeah,
Hello,
or Scotland or some team like that, some tier 6 team. So I just think he deserves a green and gold jersey, to be honest. If
Do you reckon that Queensland State of Origin side was better than the 1999 South Sydney side when they got kicked out of the comp? Because I reckon that's probably a pretty close
I don't think
run.
so.
Hello, Ben Tyrrell. How are you, mate? Now, the other thing do you reckon these sides are picked? Like, do you reckon this week's form plays any part, or do you reckon they've already picked a side? They've got, you already know because inside mail, but
They don't tell me anything.
do you reckon they wouldn't tell you one thing? Do you reckon?
I told them I got to film my podcast, and they're like, "All right, see you later."
Anyone?
So Payne Haas going to be inside or what? Eh? I was mic'd up too, so
Yeah.
it's all over the place.
That worked well.
Going back to what you're saying, I think pretty much they've got the spine. I'm just thinking the spine's going to be Cook, Pearce, Keary.
You reckon they're going to pick Pearce?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Or if not, they're going to pick Reynolds. I just think Cleary's on the outer massive.
Gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pick Reynolds and Keary. They've won a grand final together. So you got Cook, Reynolds, and Keary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you got Boyd Cordner on that left edge, and Latrell and Fox. And then you got Teddy around the back.
Yeah.
So that spine is already picked. You got Frizzell, Boyd Cordner, Jake Trbojevic, Clemmer. They're already picked. Is the only one that are up for grabs is that right side centre. We don't know. It could be Kotri, could be Ramian, could be Bronx Sherry.
Could be Josh Morris.
Could be Josh Morris, because he's tried and tested and one of the best defensive centres in the modern day.
I read today he came out of retirement. I didn't know he retired. I think if you
I didn't.
out of retirement,
You know what? He was at the Blues thing last year with me, like when the team got announced. So I think he did retire. I just look at the bench. I'm not sure Victor Radley's going to get picked. I'm not sure Paul Vaughan's going to get picked. I'm not even sure Payne Haas will get picked. No. So I think probably 2 bench spots are up for grabs.
Yeah.
So you can't say there's always about 2 bench spots and probably 1 or 2 positions they're not really keen on. So they're not already picked. People you try and guess around. Look how many options there've been on that right side centre.
Yeah.
And who's to say if James Roberts was fit? Who do you pick? You don't pick him if he's out of form.
No.
So there's always an option for guys, and I just think there are some players that are on the cusp. You can look at. I just put down, Luke Brooks. Everyone sort of forgot about him, but I just look at the combinations. He doesn't have a combination or familiarity with any of them players, with the hook or anything. So he's going to be out there wanting to know how Cook runs and gets out from the left and comes back to the right. He needs that familiarity. I got Kotri, I got Ramey, I got Victor Radley, I got Cody Walker and Reynolds.
Yeah.
And the only thing that Reynolds might be in his favour is the Reynolds, Keary, Cook. Yeah. That sort of combination can get you in the team. And Reynolds is playing some good football.
One last question about Origin before we move on to the previews of this round. We went to the launch thing that they had last year. Will they be wearing those low outfits with those awful jackets that they were wearing last year? Because that was a crime against fashion. It was a crime against rugby league.
I think that's just Freddie Fittler. Just loves all that sort of weird stuff. And
skivvies.
The skivvies. And I remember going to the game down in Melbourne. Have to wear it after the game. Imagine putting that shit on after a game. Skivvies. You just want to wear a tracksuit. But
skivvies are not
I'm pretty sure they're going to come out with something a little bit similar, because you don't change the winning formula.
You could change that. It's not a winning formula.
It could be worse. I think it might come up with a vest or some shit like that.
It wasn't far off a vest, I'm not going to lie. Now, the round 11, which is the round that we are talking about. Some interesting games. The local derby, the Western Suburbs derby, the Eels are playing against the Panthers. Panthers...
Is Selesniak gone?
Watine
Dylan
Zelezniak.
Watini Selesniak, is he gone?
Gone.
So 6 months ago, he's New Zealand captain and captain of Penrith. Now he's gone.
Punted.
What does that mean about a club?
It's not going that well, is it?
It's not. I mean, you picked it, but I mean, how can they do this? I mean, like, why of all your teams, all the players that you pick on your winger, you drop Mansour.
He's back in.
But he's back in. But what? I mean, he's going to think he's going to look like a genius.
What does that achieve?
What does it achieve? Is Campbell Gillard back up?
Yeah.
It's like, just go play Regis for a game. Like, it doesn't do anything. You're still lost. It's panic. And I think there's panic stations out there. It doesn't look like a good club. 2 years ago when Gus had the helm, it looked like a club that was going to win premierships. Yeah. Now and people actually feared playing him. Yeah. Now they're like, what Penrith team's going to turn up?
They feared playing because they had to go out to Penrith Stadium.
That's the only thing that sucks is going to play out there when it's cold.
Very long bus trip. The Eels are raging favourites, so I would have to say.
Yeah, I think that's a game where it's just like, you know what? I'm not real sure about Parramatta. They got dusted by Newcastle. I mean, they put it on the Tigers, and then they got dusted by Newcastle, and then they got 64 put on them. You can't say that does not mentally stuff you up.
They're not going that well.
And who'd they play last week? They got beat again.
Who'd they play last week?
Not sure, but they got beat.
They got beaten.
So
Manly.
Who are we going for? You going to go the Eels?
Eels. I hate Penrith. I don't.
Is it at Penrith?
Is it at Penrith? No, it's at Western Sydney Stadium.
Well, they can't be beaten there. Every time Para leaves, they get smashed. So I'm going to go for Para.
You're going for Para. I'm going for Para as well. The next game of the round is probably the surprise packet of the year. The Manly Sea Eagles with Williams' favourite coach.
Desi's my boy.
Des Hasler. Hello, Des.
Don't bring the analytics into the next time.
Bring the book. Aidan Tolman's a better prop than me.
Way better.
Manly versus the Titans. Now, the Titans are... How would you describe
You don't know what you're going to get?
What are you going to get?
Like they've been out, they've showed so many glimpses of brilliance. I mean, like, when does Ash Taylor take some responsibility?
Hasn't he copped something?
Yeah, well, you pay him $1 million, you want $1 million worth. Sorry for bringing up his pay grade, but it's all through the paper. I mean, like, guys like Lockie and all that calling you out. They were expecting him to push for a number 7 this year for Origin. Like, he was touted as that. With money comes pressure. You need to perform. Yeah. He took I count on my hand how many times he's taken the line on.
Yeah.
Tyron Roberts is probably on a quarter as much as him, and he's their best player.
Yeah.
And I just think, mate, if you're going to, you can't blame him for the money he gets.
No.
You got to give him whatever he was worth, and he's worth that at the moment. And he just needs to perform. He's playing absolute shit. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I mean, Tyron Roberts can't do everything. They've got a good forward pack. They need to what he's good at is a really good short kicking game. They've been nearly second last in all the dropouts and all that kind of shit, where halves are supposed to really do that good, and he really shines in that era, in that part of the game. I mean, their outside backs are decent. The Don still scores tries. Their forward pack can match anyone. Yeah. And then you just got this halfback that's sitting there doesn't look interested. Yeah, is he injured? Did they rush him back? I'm not sure.
He's low on confidence. There's no question.
Well, get it back ASAP, because he's the key to that whole club. They put $1 million into you, mate. So just perform. I mean, I'll be that pissed off if I was a forward on 200,000. I look at him on $1 million.
Manly win then at Lotto Land.
Yeah, Manly wins.
Manly win.
I've got a shout out to Manly. They've been going. They're playing good for what they've been given. They've got so many injuries. Fanua Blake coming back is outstanding. Kapow, he's been killing blokes. Their back row's been unreal. Sirinen, Trebojevic.
The next game of the round is the resurgent Newcastle Knights. They're
4 in a row
against the Roosters, thanks in a large part to Mitchell Pearce, which you discussed earlier.
Kalen Ponga.
Roosters coming off a loss, though.
Well, it's dangerous, and in a game like this, when you're pretty much guaranteed an Origin team, an Origin spot, Latrell Mitchell, Tedesco, Boyd Cordner might be coming back this week. Do you risk Boyd Cordner? It's like, get through the fucking game. I just want to get through the game. I just need to get into Origin. It's a whole different ball game. You love coming back into that group, especially after a win last year. Kiri, these guys are guaranteed Origin spots.
Yeah.
I don't know, your mindset changes a little bit.
Just
Trust me.
keen to get into Origin camp.
You want to get into Origin camp, and I've seen it happen. Like
you did
people
ruin Origin camp for future generations.
Yeah, we did.
Blues.
Thanks, guys.
So I reckon that Knights side could actually spring an upset.
It's up there on a Friday night.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I reckon, over 25,000 people. They've been waiting for this game. They've been thinking, oh, if we can get 4 in a row, we can get St George. They belted the shit out of St George last week.
Yeah.
Kalen Pong was outstanding. Mitchell Pearce, outstanding. Danny Levi, outstanding. Clemmer, all these guys, they just had a massive team effort, and they think they can get better.
And this, I mean, I know when you were playing, and when I was playing as well, you'd have first grade up against second grade, and the second grade guys would just try and take first grade's head off. Knights are basically a second grade Roosters side, aren't they, with all the players they've signed? So look out there.
They are. But who do you reckon?
I'm actually on the Knights. If I don't go the Knights, Cal O'Neill's going to destroy.
I'm going the Knights as well.
Nice.
I just think up there they can be outstanding. And I think Kalen Ponga, I mean, he's guaranteed in Origin, but like he is playing lights out.
He's phenomenal.
Ridiculous.
He's
What he's doing
phenomenal.
what he's doing to great defenders. He made Frizzell. Frizzell's an unbelievable defender. Twice last week. Thin air. Didn't even touch him.
I don't think I'd even.
So you don't think they're not looking at video like that for Origin?
I wouldn't look at
Heads
video
up.
like that. Like looking at Ponga, you can't. You've just got to.
You know what's happening when he runs on the left side? He tries to take you out, and then left foot.
Yeah.
And he's that scary because he sits on his toes, or he runs straight like he got Frizzell because Frizzell thought he was going to come off his right. He sits in his chair, gets him again. The fullbacks don't know what they're doing because he can come off both feet, and then he just keeps running straight.
Yeah.
He's just that good. You can't coach that shit.
No.
Good luck.
So Knights, both Knights.
Yeah,
Canberra
Knights.
playing against, and Canberra's been, again, they've been really hurt by injuries. You know, Bateman, Leilua. But they get the job done. They're playing against a Cowboys side that's probably...
Where is it at?
It's in the nation's capital.
Cowboys.
The home of
Canberra.
Questacon and the National Art Gallery.
Yeah.
Lots of things to do in Canberra.
Them Pommy blokes are just... They're still holding that team together. Hodgson is an animal.
That's because there's 50 of them.
There's only 3 now.
Yeah,
Bateman's
that's true.
out, and they've got
Sutton.
Elliot Whitehead and Sutton. Sutton's a good
He's a good
player.
player.
He's a tough kid.
Yeah, they're all tough.
There's still, Croker. I mean, I wish Croker was a left side centre.
Yeah.
He'd be in,
He'd
I
play
wish he
Origin.
was a right side centre because he'd play Origin, but you can't put him in the right side because he's got that left arm carry, left foot, and you just can't put him on the right side because it's not good. You get dominated.
Canberra win that.
I think Canberra wins. Down there, I mean, they're coming from beautiful tropics down into Canberra when it's going to be fucking freezing. That sucks. Is that Saturday night?
Yeah. No, that's Friday night.
Well,
Is that, no,
still
it's Saturday. Saturday Arvo maybe. It'll still be
It's still
freezing.
cold. Yeah.
New Zealand playing against the Broncos. This is one of those awkward games where you're running your ex, isn't it? With Nicarima having to go and play against the Broncos, who punted him, obviously. The Broncos have been improving. I still can't...
Is it over there?
It's over there.
I think the Bronx, I think they've set the standard what they did last week. They can grow on confidence. I think like Payne Haas is going to be playing lights out. I think like Matt Gillett's coming back into form. You know, I'm going to back them. That young hooker, I don't even know his name.
Jake Turpin.
Turpin's just laying blokes out. I think Seguiaro, congratulations to him last week. He's been on the back burner and finally got his chance. He gets a win and try against the Roosters up there. Would have been great for him. I think his spark and his energy can get him home.
Yeah.
I think he's just an outstanding young player. People forget that he was one of the best nines and touted to play Origin a couple of years ago. He just had a few off-field dramas and everything like that. And now he's back on the straight and narrow and playing some good football.
You see Nicarima's step? Impressive.
Yeah.
I
mean,
hope he puts
look
one
at
of
it.
them
Yeah, he's outstanding. I think it's the best fit for him. Because
I'm going New Zealand.
You going New Zealand?
I'm going New Zealand.
It's a Saturday night over there. They're hard to beat, but I'm going to go the Broncos because I think they're young and they're fearless. And they showed it last week against the team, the Roosters, the reigning premiers.
The reigning premiers. The Wayne Bennetts are up against the Tigers.
Well, I think Wayne's will... this is a team where the Tigers really show up against South.
Yeah.
I think out of their last 4 games, I think they've won 3.
Well, it's sort of a grudge match for Maguire too. He got the punt from...
Yeah, well, you don't really... I mean, you're not going to... The coach is not out there playing for you.
No.
I mean, it might sound good in the papers, he's going to play against his old team. No one gives a shit. When you go out there, coach ain't there, no one gives a fuck. So he's not going to be there,
Yelling
but I can
into
see...
his little
he's going to be...
walkie-talkie.
just can you run a bit harder? Yeah, no worries, mate. I think Wayne's
The Waynes.
South Sydney Bunnies win that. I just think they're just finding ways to win games. And I'm not going to say that they're going to beat the hell out of the Tigers. I think the Tigers are playing some great football because I reckon they lost that game against Melbourne. They had Melbourne against the ropes, And the last 10 minutes, they just didn't complete their sets. And you give Melbourne any chances, they're going to come out here and bite you in the arse. And they couldn't have done it any better. And I think, actually, I'm going to go Tigers.
You're going to go Tigers? Yeah. I really hope this isn't the week that Wayne Bennett watches this show.
I just think that they've got it over them. I just think that they play a brand of football which is exciting, and I think they'll get a lot of confidence out of last week because even though they didn't beat Melbourne, they had Melbourne. They had them. Anyone who watched that game, they knew they had them, and they just needed to put them to bed. And they'll have that same mentality against South. And I think if they do get in the lead, they'll really, the leadership from Benji Marshall and Robbie Farah will really come into fruition.
Bulldogs, fruition. We are really swallowing thesauruses lately. Dogs versus Storm. Storm win that.
Yeah, we're going to go out there and they're going to honour Steve Folkes and the 04 Bulldogs team. So nice. I've got to go out there on Sunday and they're going to do a lap of honour and all that kind of stuff and honour all of us players and it'll be a good day, I think. And it's at Belmore.
Well, I hope they win.
Well, I hope they win as well. I think they're playing a good enough, and it's that team. They only just lost this year against Melbourne.
Yeah.
I think
they've lost
I want the Bulldogs to win. I know that they've got the team to sort of beat Melbourne because they do play that sort. They've got a big enough forward pack and they play enough. They play smart enough around the ruck and they've got a little bit of strike power and they've got some confidence. So considering I'm going all the way out to Belmore, I don't want to waste my time and I don't really personally like Melbourne that much. I'm going to put my Bulldogs hat on and go for the Bulldogs.
I'm going Bulldogs too.
Otherwise, they'll probably bash me if I say Melbourne.
Well, if you're out there. Definitely the Dogs.
Willie, what are you doing, bro? Go the Doggies.
St George. Awful. Lately.
Not trending in the right way, are they?
No, they're trending poorly. He's wielded the axe this week. He's got rid of about 17 players.
Do you get it with the coaches? Like, what's their deal? They have a couple of losses and they just go fucking bang. They just cut people.
He's lost about 4 games.
Well, 3 games.
Flogged.
But I mean, do you drop your fullback, Dufty? Just because he got smoked by Ponga?
Well,
I think anyone would have smoked
him.
Missed a couple of tackles, but his energy. I mean, I think
he scored an unreal try against
Zach.
the
Zach Lomax plays fullback. He's actually a centre, so he's going to be out of position. I'm not sure with this whole dropping of players. I think you just got to give them a chance to play themselves back into form. And I think everybody who gets beat like that, you need that next week to go. Fuck! I just can't wait. You're going to bite it to bits and. Hopefully, I think they've got a really good culture down there at St George, what they're building. So 3 games in a row sucks. And it really hurts. So I think all them players will be hurting from last week, getting embarrassed by the Knights. I think...
Bounce back then, you reckon?
Yeah.
Bounce back?
Yeah.
Dragons?
Yeah.
I'm going Sharks.
Well, it's a local derby. Where's it at?
Local derby. It's at St George, Illawarra.
Which one's that one?
I don't know which
one.
So
it's down in Illawarra.
I don't know. It could be.
Well, if it's down there, it's going to be it'll be crazy.
Yeah.
Even if it's at Cogra, they love it. It's a local derby there, and I think St George will get up.
100%.
And there's a few players there that are really on the cusp of Origin. Tariq Sims, he needs a really big game to get on that bench.
Yeah.
And I think Cronulla, you still got it. Bronx Sheriff, he plays a really good game. He might get that nod, but he needs to fix up a few things in his game.
Catching.
Fundamentals. And Ramian. Yeah, Ramian's on the side there. So even Pryor was playing Origin last year, so he's got a little bit of form there. So they've got a lot to play for. Gallen might come out of retirement.
Thank you for those pearls of wisdom, William. Now that concludes Unfiltered for this week. As we mentioned earlier, we have been live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube via the Skippy TV channel. We'll also be dragging the audio. We're getting the podcast set up. We're moving forward. We'll be everywhere. You'll be sick of us, but keep watching because we love having you on board, and we will see you next week.
Next week.